Okay, boys and girls, we are doing lesson 16 of module 1. Okay, in this lesson, we are solving word problems with multiple steps. Okay, multiple steps. We're going to be using the subtraction algorithm or method that we've been doing with tape diagrams. And then we're going to go back and we're going to check, is it reasonable with rounding? We've done rounding. We've done tape diagrams. We've done subtraction. So are you guys all set up for this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. We are going to review converting centimeters to meters and stuff after this with your sprint. Just giving you a little bit of a heads up. Okay. So the first one we're going to do for the weekend's basketball playoffs, a total of 61,941 tickets were sold. Hurry. 29,855 tickets were sold for Saturday's game. The rest of the tickets were sold for Sunday's game.
651.
Thank you, Mr. Squatrito. I will write it on the board also. So thank you for those of you guys who are already working along with me. That's awesome sauce. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys on the board, and you guys can do this along with me, please, in your on your whiteboards or your note paper if you have to. Okay, so the whole Kit Kat and Caboodle, was 61,941. Those were all the tickets sold for the weekend basketball playoffs. Okay. 29,855 were sold on Saturday's game. Were sold for Saturday's game. And you could write it right in there, or you can write it right down here. Whatever. And we would say Saturday. Okay. So then the question is, how many tickets were sold for Sunday? And so we need to solve for this in order to find A, the answer. Okay, A, the answer. So how are we going to do that? Who could tell me? What's the next step? What's the step in order to get going on this? I love that I have many hands in the air. Turn and talk to your neighbors. You can, let's switch it up a little bit. Stefana and Ruby talk. Elena and Phoebe talk. You two are always going to be partners, sorry. At least for now.
You're gonna have to.
Okay, Isaiah, talk to me. What are you gonna have to do to solve it? If you already have your total, and you have one of the parts, so think about this also. If we were to do this as a number bond, if you guys were to see this as a number bond, it might help you figure out what it is that you need to do. I mean, you should already know because we've been doing this quite a bit already. But what is it that we need to do? What is it that we need to do? I see 2 hands raised. Does that mean that Braden and Kale don't know what to do? You don't know what to do to solve this? Braden?
Rounding.
Nope.
Subtracting.
We are going to subtract. What number are we going to start with? Or what number are we going to subtract from? You literally have it written on your board, girlfriend. The big one, right? As you point to it. 61,941. We're going to start with that one. The total, right? Your big bubble in your number bond. 61,941 minus the day that we already had. We already know the 29,855. Okay, do I have a volunteer to show this to the rest of the crowd? Show this. Kale, you want to go up there and do that for us? Bring your own marker. Go up there and solve it on the board. I'll move out of the way. Teach your partners. Teach your neighbors. Teach your friends. Teach your classmates. Yeah, explain to us what you're doing as you do it, okay?
So I can see that the one in the one can't go to the 5, so I'm gonna have to borrow a cup of sugar. And that becomes 3, then that becomes 11. And then 3 minus 5 I can't do, so I'm gonna have to borrow a cup of sugar. That becomes 13. And then 8 minus 8 I can do. Just a big fat 0. And then 1 minus 9 I can't do, so this becomes 5, then that becomes 11. And 5 minus 2, that becomes...
Good. Make your comma look more like a comma, less like a 1. It's about the same size as your other numbers, but it's smaller and like hanging down at the bottom. Perfect. Awesome. Did you guys see what he did?
Yes.
Did you do those same things when you were solving it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wunderbar. Thank you. Kale, snaps for Kale. Thanks, bud, for sure. Cute. All right. Thank you. Get out of here. He took a bow. All right. Very good. And so remember, when we're solving a word problem, we often need to answer it with words, right? So, but all we would need to do in order to answer that with words is say our answer, 32,086 tickets were sold on Sunday. Okay, that would be your answer. So I know earlier you guys thought, well, we're going to do rounding right away because I did tell you we would work on rounding. But remember, that was only to check to see if our answers were reasonable. Okay, so Amy, so we need to make sure that our answers make sense, and you can use rounding in order to do that. Okay, we're not going to do rounding for this one. We're going to move on, and then we'll do rounding and stuff for the next one. Excellent. If you did rounding for that one, okay. All right. Well, come up on the board and show it. Since you did it, and it looks like such a great thing. So come up. Hold on. I'll get out of your way. Come up and show everybody what you did in order to demonstrate that oops, sorry, sweetie. Your answer was reasonable using rounding.
So the way I found out that my answer was reasonable, I took 61,941 and I rounded it to the nearest 1,000, which would be 61,000. Then I took 29,855. And I rounded it to the nearest 1,000, which is 30,000. Then I subtracted 61,000 minus 30,000, which 0 minus 0 is 0, which is 1 minus 0 is 0, and then 6 minus 3 is 0.
Wait. Is 1 minus 0 0?
Yes.
I have one.
If I have one.
Oh, it's one. One.
Ah, there you go.
One.
That's okay. Everybody makes goofy mistakes.
So then, to figure out that, so then I did 32,086, and I rounded that, which is Ooh, not 32,000, but I got 31.
Right, because you rounded the one you subtracted up and the one that you subtracted from down. So your number would be less, but it's close, right?
Yes.
And so because it's close, it is reasonable. But yes, you're right in that it's not giving you the exact same one. That's because you chose of where you chose to do your rounding. Because this one, you rounded down, you took away close to 1,000. And actually, hold on, you should have rounded up.
So yeah, I did that
So fix it, round up, because you're right. Now we check it, we look at it, and we say, wait a minute, you should have rounded up. Well, no, you just needed to erase one number, girl.
It's okay. That would be great. So I would actually round up, which would be 62,000.
There you go. And that gets you
To 32,000.
32,000. There you go.
And 32,806.
86. There you go.
Is rounded to 32,000.
Right. So it's very reasonable to say that that could be your answer, right? Because it's very close to what you would have got when you rounded. Excellent. Pat yourself on the back. Snaps and claps for Miss Phoebe. Do something. Do anything for me. Okay, in just a few minutes, Mr. Squatrito, we can give them back their assessments and they can continue working on that, especially if they're not going to work on the Zern. The Zern is their time to kind of try to review some of the concepts they're working on in their assessment. So if they're not going to use that time appropriately. Okay, very good, very good. Erase your whiteboards. You guys did awesome. Thank you, those of you who volunteered to come up and share with the class how you figured stuff out. I appreciate you being brave enough to get up here and do that. That's great. Great. I like how short this whiteboard is. At first, I didn't like it. Now I do. I like how short it is.
You do.
Very easy to write. Okay, so.
You do not need to pick with the pregnancy sheet.
Okay. So fourth graders. A company has 3 locations with 70,010 employees altogether. The first location has 34,857. The second location has 17,595 employees. Ooh, you know what I might do? I might do this on one of these. See if I can figure this out.
Very easy to figure out.
Amy, quit.
Ashley.
She's in the back. And she might listen. Okay, hold on.
Susie. Can you give this one to Valerie?
Okay.
You need 4 things because the company.
Okay. I want us to do this actually on one of these so then we can stick it up in the classroom and remember our work for a while instead of having to erase it. I'm so excited. The world's biggest Post-it note. Okay, so we got it up there. And I'm going to write the problem out. Usually I would project it, but, you know, nothing works.
Since it has 3 companies and there's all the one altogether, you need 4, right?
Oh, girlfriend. You are on the right track in that it needs to look different, but let's talk about what that's going to look like. Because you're absolutely correct in that it's going to look different because we're dealing with 3 different groups. Okay? But you're not quite there. We're going to keep pushing, okay? So I love how your brain is working and thinking on that already. So a company has 3 locations with 70,010 employees. Okay. All together. And this is where we're gonna really start. Hey, don't erase with your fingers. You literally have an eraser right in front of you, girl. Come on, you're killing me. And this is where we've got to start breaking this up then and thinking, okay, what's important? Where does it go? How are we gonna do it? Okay. The first location. Here, you know what would my Phoebe, come here. I'm rolling my cart over here. You can read this to me, and it might be faster than me just.
Where am I? Oh, okay.
I was like, did you find it?
Yes, I did. So the first location has 34,857 employees.
Okay.
The second location has 17,595 employees.
Say that number again, 17,000.
17,595.
Okay.
How many employees work in the third location?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so Phoebe then said, okay, so there's 3 parts of this all together. So then she's trying to break it up in these fancy things with like 4 different things. And that's because Phoebe, you usually like to do it like this, right? Where you do a box here that says like 70,000. And then you try to break it up down here into 2 other parts. And then you kind of added another part up there. Okay. So remember, if that's your total, if you want to write your boxes that way, that's fine. But remember that you need to break it up into 3 pieces.
Oh.
Right? Okay, so but I don't like my boxes. I do my boxes a little different way. You're welcome to do it the way that Phoebe shows. Or you could do them the way that I do it. The very first thing we need to do is read this carefully and figure out what the heck we are doing. Right? So first thing we want to know, how many do we have all together? All together.
70,010.
Okay, girl, I need to know other people's brains are working too. I'm so glad yours is. Okay, so how many do we have all together? Isaiah, how many do we have all together in that one? Okay. Okay. And so if I was reading this, I would go and highlight that. And I'd say, okay, I know that is the first thing that I need to do. Is I know that in my box, All together, we have 7,000. Okay, and I know that because I highlighted. And you guys have highlighters, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some of you forgot them in our classroom, but we do have highlighters. Usually, you can always underline too with a pencil or something. But if you notice, if you come by and ask me a question, I usually take out a few different highlighters, right? And I say, okay, let's highlight this in this color because it pertains to this. Let's highlight this in this color because it pertains to this. Because it helps me split that up in my brain. I find that very helpful. So you guys can totally use that as strategy. Look. Okay, here's where that number came from. Here's where it goes. Okay. Next, we know that we need to split that into how many groups?
3.
I see Kale showing me 3. I see Phoebe showing me 3. I see Stefana. Very good. Okay. We need to break it up into 3. I know that one of my groups has 34,000 and the other group has 17. So which one of those? So that shows me my groups aren't going to be totally equal. If I want to make this more true to form, right? I'm going to do my first group as bigger than my next two, right? Because I know that this one is 34,857. My second location is 17,595. If I wanted to, and this would be a good strategy, I would go through and highlight. Okay, look, first location, that much. Second location, that much. And then I know, okay, I got that number from there, and I got that number from there, from where I highlighted. Okay, and then it's probably a great idea if I label those, right? That way I know too. First location, second location. Where did I come up with this stuff? The problem, right? I didn't just pull it out of thin air. I didn't just make up numbers and said, yeah, okay, sure. Boop. No, it came from the problem. I went back and I read it carefully, right? We went back, we highlighted, we read it carefully. These problems, while sometimes they sound a little tricky, they don't need to be if you are reading carefully. Okay? All right. So next, what do we think the next step is to do? What do you think the next step is to do? Turn back to your partners. What do you guys think the next step is? So I've made it this far. What the heck do I do next? What the heck do I do next? Remembering that my final thing is how many employees work in the third location, right? How many does that company have in that third location? What is it that we need to do in order to solve that? Talk to your neighbors. What do we have to do first?
Subtract.
Can we?
Yes, you can subtract.
I can subtract. You know what else I could do?
You could.
What's another way that I could do it? I could just start on subtraction right away and subtract 2 different numbers. What's another thing I could do? Stefana?
You can round.
I'm going to check my last answer when I round. I'm not going to round to the very end. And I'm going to use that to help check my answers. So what am I going to do before I start rounding? Do you think that I could? What? Oh, Phoebe?
Estimate.
No. Nah. Would I want to add these two locations together too and then subtract them? Could I do that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, so I could, before, I don't have to subtract like this minus this minus this. Like that gets kind of complicated, right? So what, hold your horses there, girlfriend. I see you, Elena, going crazy on me. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to add those two together, right? I'm going to add that together. I'm going to say, okay, well, how much is 34,857 plus 17,595? And add those together. Okay. And then somebody, does somebody want to do that on my giant post-it note? Stefana? Don't do it with your marker. Let me get you a different one that we've not touched really today. I'll rub some sanitizer on it.
Yeah. That's what it says.
I had more Sharpies in here. Okay, so this has never been touched. Come and get it. Yes. What? It hasn't been touched in a long time. I'm gonna put it back.
So,
Years.
it like my scissors. Did too much in there. I was subtracting with it and messed up. And then you're not supposed to subtract. This was. I subtracting it and I messed up. We can touch.
Okay, explain loud and proud, girlfriend. What are you doing? Tell us what you're doing.
So I added 7 plus 5 and that equals 12. So I regrouped the 10 and then I placed the 1. And then I added 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 9 and I got a 15. So I regrouped the 1 and placed the 5 and
You don't need to check. Just look at that paper. I mean, it's the same problem.
just
Take a deep breath and see what it is I need to do next. Or phone a friend.
24 what?
But just you can take a deep breath and see what it is you need to do next. Isaiah, pay attention, dude.
And that equals 14. So I regroup the 1 and add the 4. And place the 4.
No.
So 24. What?
Okay, so let's see. You did 7 minus 5 equals 2. Then, wait, why do you have a 1 on top of 5?
What are
That
they?
equals 12.
24 what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Kennison? What did I do wrong? I was subtracting. And we've been doing so much subtracting. Kennison, shame. Okay. Yes, thank you. 7 plus 5 equals 12. Okay, carry the 1. 5 plus 1 plus 9 equals 15. Carry the 1. 8 plus 1 plus 5 would equal 14. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 plus 7.
That equals 12.
4 plus 1 more is 5, right? And 7 plus 5 is 12.
It's
So
7
yes.
plus 5 plus 1.
No,
7 plus 4. Oh,
7 plus 4.
yeah. There's a 1. And then Stefana. 7 plus 4 plus 1. That equals 12.
They also love me.
But if 7. They don't call my mom anymore.
Right?
And then
I thought that was a 4 out of 5.
And then that equals 5.
Okay, very good. Okay, put that over here. Thank you. No. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Nothing else personal.
You can use your hands. I don't like to have it easy.
Yeah, using your hands to count. Okay, very good. So, what you guys just figured is your first and your second location together equals 52,452. Do you know this number is the same forward and backwards? No, just kidding. It's not the same. Dang it. I was so excited. If these two were flipped, it would be. Okay. So now, whoa.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Okay. What's the next step? Are we done yet?
No.
No, we're not done yet. What's the next step? Turn to talk to your partners. What's the next step?
Subtraction, then you round, estimate, then you round, then you drop, then you round, then you estimate. Then you estimate, then you round, then you draw the blah, 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 blah.
Okay. What's the next step? Keep your hands and bodies and stuff to yourselves, ladies.
But
Okay.
they have mittens. They aren't touching themselves. No, I accidentally, mine actually fell off. Accidentally.
Okay. What is the next step? Kale.
Subtraction.
Subtraction. What do we need to subtract, Brayden? You're going to lose your chair, dude. What do we need to subtract, Brayden?
51,352.
Which is
No.
60%.
I disagree.
We love you. We love you. We love you. We
Oh my
disagree.
gosh, it's so tiny.
I don't even know. I mean, I know this is small because I wrote it on the world's largest Post-it note, but isn't quite as big as the whiteboard. Why don't you come and check out what we have up here real quick? I'll scoot out of your way so you can look. And then I want you to see if you can figure out what the next step is. If you would wear socks with your shoes early, your feet would be a lot longer. Brayden, while you're up there, tell us what we're gonna do.
We subtract 52,452.
What are we gonna subtract that from?
7,000.
Not 7,000. We can't subtract 52,000 from 7,000.
I mean, subtract 7,000.
Place value. Is that 7,000?
70.
70,000. There we go. There we go. We can do that, right? We can do that. We can subtract from 70,000. So we're going to take, and we're going to say, $70,010 minus 34,857, and that will give us the answer to our third location, right? Yeah. Okay, who's ready to do this? Who's ready? I'm ready. Okay, somebody who has not done it on the board. So you three have already gone. So I can pick. We got Brayden, Elena, Ruby, and Isaiah who can do it on the board. Isaiah is like, no, I can't. Yes, you can, Isaiah. Go do it. Guess what you just earned? You earned a round trip ticket, one-way ticket to do it on the board. I sanitize the marker for you. You can totally do it. Totally do it. Go. Give it a try. I watched you do. I sanitized it so you didn't get everybody's germs, dude. Why do we typically sanitize? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. What are you doing? You're doing subtraction. Okay. Explain to us what you're doing.
So you take away the 1 and add a 0 because we're gonna do this one because you cannot subtract 0 from 7. So
0 from 27. 0 from what? You said 0 from 27.
wait.
Okay, hold on.
Wait.
He lost his head a little bit, but he put the 1 there, made that a 10. He subtracted 7 from 10 to make 3. Okay, so now you have 0 minus 5. Can you do it? And you can't take away from the 0 or the 0, so you've got to go all the way over to the 10,000s.
And then we make that a 10. Then we cross that out, and that's a 9. Then we make that a 10. Then we cross that out, and we add a 9. Then we add 1 to that, so it's a 10. Now we have 5 right here. And then 9 minus 8 is 1. And 9 minus 4 is 5. And 6 minus 3 is 3.
Very good. Look at that. Did you need to panic on me?
Yeah.
You looked at me with scared eyes. Did he need to look at me with scared eyes?
No.
No, he did it, and he did it perfect. Right? Don't look at me with scared eyes. Don't be scared. Okay, put the marker down. Okay, very good. So remember, if it's a word problem, we should solve it with words. I mean, we should write down words too. So we would say, uh-oh. Hold on, what the heck? Oh, Kennison. Can you guys find a mistake I made? Can you find the mistake? We subtracted the wrong number. What number should we subtract? Is that going to give us our correct answer?
No. Cal, you said yes.
All right, turn and talk to your partners. What number should we have subtracted? Because that answer is wrong, not because of Isaiah. But Isaiah didn't check and see if that was right. Oh. That's okay. It's not Isaiah's fault.
17,595. I get that.
Okay, so when you guys saw me write that up there, what should your little hands have done?
Raise your hand.
Right? Popped right into the air and said, wait a minute, Miss Kennison. Is that the right number? This is the number I had. And we could have talked about it and said, oh my gosh, look at that. And you know what? I'm only proud if you catch my mistakes. I'm ever only proud.
Miss, what are you doing?
I'm whiting it out
With what?
with whiteout.
Wait, that looks like good though.
It's like a tape whiteout thing.
Oh, it looks like glue.
Yeah, it doesn't work super well.
Everything. I can write out everything. I make everything weird. But I can't do something weird. What the heck? The biggest whiteout.
What the heck? This whiteout tape does not want to do its job, Squatrito. What the heck?
Pull it all out.
It really doesn't work. There we go. Oh. Ah! Okay, well, technical difficulties, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Okay. And we'll see if we have to fix any of our borrowing before, like when we put up the new numbers, the correct numbers, I should say. Gosh, dang.
How does that work? He like presses it and it like disappears.
Ah,
No, I think it's like to like.
he thinks I'm incapable of using the tape.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
like-
that I'm incapable of using the tape, Kale. It's that the tape is being weird.
It's like glue. So it's like glue.
It's being like both extra sticky and not sticky enough.
It's fun if you see it back in front.
Yeah, because you're trying to.
But even when it goes straight, it just kept sticking to itself. See, and then it was, not doing it. It is both at the same time, extra sticky and not sticky enough. I would just like to point out, for the record, that tape is wonky donkey. Okay. Well, now that that looks like a full-on disaster, we'll subtract the right number this time.
Can I have a 2 now?
Yes. Whoopsie. So Isaiah did the correct math with the wrong number.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, I think she got a random number.
Good job, Isaiah.
And I got the.
That has nothing to do with the well. That would have equaled these two put together, right?
Oh.
Is what that would have done. So excellent work with the wrong number. I apologize. Slash cried a little bit because nobody caught me and said, Kennison, what the heck are you doing?
No, I'm like, what? Oh, we're not.
Well, then you got to say it out loud, girlfriend.
Like that, like, oh,
Say it
what?
loud, say it proud.
Like, what? Why are we subtracting?
Why are we doing that? It's Kennison, you've lost your marbles.
Shortcut.
Uh,
And I'd say, yes, I did. Okay, I sanitize that marker for you. Go up there. Everything's been borrowed and stuff for you. How convenient.
So where am I going to subtract? Right here.
Right there.
It doesn't seem.
Right there.
You should have the right number.
It's already borrowed for you is what I'm saying. So yeah, you can't take away 2 from 0. Guess what? He already went and borrowed it. Now it's 10. 10 minus 2 is?
8. Good job, Ruby. He went through all that and now didn't have to even do anything. It was for nothing.
Yep.
9 minus 2 is
Yeah, but like when I do.
What's 9 minus 2?
7.
There you go. And 6 minus 5?
6 minus 5 is 1.
There we go. Okay. 17,558. Okay. Looks a little sloppy, but part of that's my fault. Sorry. Okay, so now that we have the right answer, put it over there. Now that we have the right answer, because nobody caught Kennison on her mistake, shame, we would say 17,558.
Wait, this is
What?
1700.
17,000. Thank you. 558 employees work at the third location. Okay. Now this is where we would round to double check. Okay, so talk to your partners how we could use rounding in order to and we'll do our little rounding double checker down here. How could we use rounding to double check that to see if we're correct?
If you could round all the all the numbers, and then you could subtract them, and and then you would do that, get that answer, and you would see if it's the same as this answer.
Isaiah,
You would
how would you round
that
the check?
answer and see if it's the correct.
Would I round to check it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have to figure out what place that is. I don't understand a thing you just said because you said it all fast.
So Phoebe, she's doing some excellent communication right now. And I would take her, so and that's great. I think that's wonderful when you're able to communicate yourself and say, I did not get it because you went so fast. Slow it down, girlfriend. Tell me what you mean. Okay. Take a deep breath. See if you can explain that step by step.
So, you would take these numbers and you would round them up.
Why?
What does it mean?
Explain the relationship between the two arrays using number sentences
I
and
just have to
words.
figure out why. You have to figure out
Go ask Mr. Squatrito.
I said it to you.
You were staring at me.
I'm not sure what it's asking.
You're not sure what it's asking?
Yeah.
Okay, so right here,
Around
he didn't, part of it is that
because it's a more accurate answer.
he didn't
So you
fully
round to
do
the
B.
10,000 and get those answers.
So he didn't do,
And
and
then
he didn't
you
do
need to
A
subtract those
correctly,
answers. But those answers.
to
And then
show
if
9
you
rows
get-
of
you
2.
see if you can round it.
And what, okay, so what he did is in B,
This
no,
answer,
so you just did,
you
so you didn't
round
do
it
2
and
rows
see
of
if it's
9, you
right.
didn't do 9 rows of 2 over here. Once you do those,
This is 9. 1.
but is it of 2?
Yeah, this is 2.
No. 1, 2,
Yeah, but we have.
so you're saying you don't want to count that first one as an actual row?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in an array, we usually do. So if you don't want to count
So
that
for
first
rounding
one,
to the 10,000, we look at that, not 0, so it would be
there we go.
70,000.
Now you have 9 rows of 2. So now you need to write a multiplication sentence to represent that. Okay, where's your multiplication sentence?
3, 4,
And I know you should. Okay, and then over here, you need to draw another array that shows 2 rows of
That
9.
rounded.
And write a different multiplication sentence for that.
Because that's an 8.
Okay? So don't do 9 times 3 because that's not what it adds.
Then we have 17.
Do your multiplication sentence for that one. And then
I guess we're basically done. 5.
Okay. Okay, Squatrito, can you go look at it now that I kind of, because part of it was that he did it real wonky. So that's why his stuff wasn't correct. Okay.
It's 9 times 2.
All right. Ruby, 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 what are we going to do? What?
Oh.
I'm just asking you what you're going to do then. What's your rounding plan here?
Figure it out.
Stop throwing your pencil. We're going to do what?
We're going to be rounding to the Mr. Squatrito left. 52.
Okay, so you just decided to skip rounding to this one? Okay, and you just said, what are you rounding it to?
I'm so confused. She said she was rounding it to the 10.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought Mr. Squatrito was going to sit with you for a few minutes. Skip that one, Luis. Go to a different one. Come back, and I can work with you on it. But you,
Not even a single easy one on this.
honey, you're making them extra hard. Okay, go work on Zern for now. Go work on Zern, and you can come back to that later.
Miss Kennison, what she means is she's going to round to the 100. I do not want to do this stuff ever again.
Louise, I'm sorry. That's the assessment. That's the work. You need to do the work, bud. Please just take a break. Go work on Zern. Work on Zern, and then we'll come back to that later. Okay. So, Phoebe, what did you do, girl?
So first, I took the three numbers for the three locations, and I rounded them to the nearest 10,000. Not 10,000, to the nearest thousand.
Mm-hmm.
So 70,010 rounded to the nearest thousand would be 70,000.
Okay.
34,857 rounded would be 35,000.
And I'm going to tell you right now, let's just round to the 10,000s.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Let's round to the 10,000s. And you know what? You can always do the round. You can do the rounding before you do the work. Either way, it will tell you whether or not it's reasonable, right? Anyway, so what I would do, round these first two ones that you know. Yep, those ones right there.
Well, one question's a lot of work.
For one question, it is a lot of work, but guess what? It goes a lot faster when you're not trying to slow down and do it step for step for step. And you guys totally have the capability of doing this, okay? You do. You don't need to be scared off by the amount of work, because you're right. And for questions like this, guess what? There's like all these different things you do. This would probably be like a 5-point question or something, right? It wouldn't be just 1 point because you have so many steps. You'd get a point kind of for a lot of those steps that you do usually. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I see that. So first we want to round to the number of employees that we know. So I see that Phoebe rounded 34,000. She said 34,857 is approximately 30,000. She said 17,595 is approximately
27,000.
Oh, 27,000. Oh. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
She said round to
The 10,000s.
So I rounded up because this is a 7.
You're right. But check your thousands place value then.
20,000?
Just 20, right? You delete everything from. You're totally correct because that's a 7. You would round up, and the rest would erase. What are you looking for, bud? A pencil. Go get one out of the hot cup. So she's totally right. She just made a silly, goofy mistake, which we all do, right? Yes. Goofy mistake, no problemo. Miss Kennison made at least 4 of those today.
You did.
Hey. Okay. All right. So that gives us approximately 50,000 employees that we know of, right? Okay.
And 52,452 rounded would be 50,000.
Right. Very good.
The answer is reasonable.
Okay, but hold on. So then 7D and 10,000 would round to
70,000.
Okay, help me out, Braden. What's 70 and 10,000 or 70,010 rounding to the nearest 10,000? What would it be? I look to this number. It is a 0. So am I gonna round up or stay the same?
Stay the same.
Right, and that means I clear out everything else. So it becomes just 70,000. Hey, bud, where are your glasses?
Cool.
Braden.
I know where they are. They're back at home on top.
Okay. 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 So I would like to see you wearing them. Right? It's not for me, it's for you. It's really hard to participate if you are blind. I know that because I need my glasses in order to participate in. I don't wear glasses. I wear usually because they drive me nuts. They're always falling off my face. I wear contacts, but I have to wear them if I want to do my job efficiently. You are a student, so you need to wear your glasses if you want to do your job. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so now we kind of go through the same type of work. If I have 70,000 and I take away the 50,000, seven minus 5 is 2, 20,000 is 17,000 close to 20,000. Yes. If we rounded it, it would round up to 20,000. So we would say, yes, my answer is reasonable, right? Because this answer, the scary answer right over here, 17,000. I don't know why the 7 is like way the heck over here. 17,500. And 58. Gosh, this was such a beautiful poster till I bonked that up. Rounded to the nearest 10,000s would be 20,000, right? Okay, very good. So we would say, yes, reasonable. Guess what? You guys are all set up to be able to do this on your own, okay? Yeah, you guys totally can. When we come back during our free choice time, first thing I'm going to have you guys do is work on this sprint a little bit with me. It might actually not so much be a sprint at first, so much as a slow crawl to remember some of that stuff. And then we'll do the sprint, and then we will we'll set a timer. Maybe you'll work on your lesson 16 for a few minutes, and then you'll get some free time. You will.
You haven't read it yet. We're probably gonna have it on Thursday.
We are. Well, yeah, we're not. I got you a calendar and everything. I need to get you the books to take home. I've made a calendar. So that you can do your book club this week, okay?
Okay. I just thought I'd ask because my mom wanted to know.
Yep. Good idea. Okay. Guess what? No. Meanwhile, we need to line up because it is, in fact, lunchtime. Get out of my space, dude.